From your comfortable seat, we'll tuck the chin into the chest and roll the right ear over to the right shoulder, and then chin into the chest over to the left side. And we'll start to find our breath here in just a moment, but until you get ready to really access your breath, just notice what's happening in your head and neck, that you're not taking it too far, and that you're inching into those spaces and places inside of your neck, around your throat, inside of your shoulder that need your attention, not too much and not too little. Well, about two more each side. See if you can release your jaw in this final one. Really just letting the lower mandible come away from the top teeth. Great, and then bring your chin into your chest and just slowly raise your head upward. Find the crown of the head over your tailbone. So notice if the back of your chest needs to move backward a little bit. And then grasp a hold of your shoulders. Hands on one hand on each shoulder, right hand on the right shoulder, left on left, and start your circular rotation and motion here. So we're getting synovium in and around the joints of the shoulders. Yes. We're releasing the shoulders. Yes, the tension up there in your traps, through your neck. And we're bringing a lot of blood flow in and around your heart. About 5 more. Start to notice your inhale and exhale. It's all through your nose. So the tip edge of your tongue is elevated to the roof of your mouth, just behind your top teeth. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hands down on your thighs. Shrug your shoulders up near your ears like you're really trying to pinch them up there. And then on the exhale, exhale with a ha. 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 Really get down in there in that guttural sound down the lower lobes of the lungs. Like your intent is to remove any toxicity, any just latent energy down there in the lower lobes of the lungs. 5 more. And release. We're going to take a turn and a twist to the right. So we use the left hand on your right knee here as you turn and twist over to the right. And then slowly unravel and go straight over to the other side, twisting and turning to the left. Your hand behind you, you're perched up on your fingertips here. And switch. Make sure that whenever you're switching that your spine is not falling. In other words, really elevated up from crown head to tailbone so that we're rotating around and through the discs and not grinding around through the bones. And switch. We really want to get the juices flowing around the spine, cerebral spinal fluid moving, all of those nerves easy and accessible to communicate from head to sacrum down through the toes and back up again. And switch. 1 more each side. And switch. Turning to the left. And bring it back around through center. Go ahead and switch the crossings of your legs, and it's going to feel a little awkward on your sitting bones. You know that because you found your most comfortable seat. But now this one's like, ooh, but we want to use that so that we don't get into our patterns too much, right? So eventually you want to not even know which one is comfortable because they both will be. Exhale, cat tuck, as we drop back, navel to the spine, chin to the chest, and then inhale, cow lift. Really send the buttocks back, the shoulders back, and the head and face up. Exhale. Inhale. Can you hug the triceps, the back of the arms, backward behind you? Exhale, as if your elbows are going to touch when you're making this motion. Inhale. And exhale. When you're inhaling, can you raise your hands up off your thighs so you can really feel your upper arms doing the work, that you're hugging the rhomboids, really opening the chest, strengthening that middle upper back. 3 more. The whole spine right now. 2 more. A lot of airflow coming in, even more moving out. Now that seems like, is that even possible? But yes, we really exhale a little bit more carbon dioxide than we bring in oxygen. Inhale and come in. Great. And now find your elbows. Now, this is what we're going to do. So just watch for just a moment. We're going to extend your right leg. With your left leg, we're going to rotate the leg around. Usually we do this lying down, right, in the signature warm-up. But whenever we finish that, we're going to extend the left leg all the way out to the left side. The foot's not coming to the floor. It's elevating up. We're feeling that stretch through the pectoralis muscles and deep through the glutes and hips. And then we're going to bring it back. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll rotate the left leg around 5 times. 5, 4, you're really feeling that churning down and around your abdomen and around your groin and certainly through your hip. 2, 1, and then take the left leg all the way across. Don't let the foot touch the floor. In fact, flex the foot so you get iliotibial stretch, getting into glute minimus stretch here. That left elbow's down and on the floor so you feel, wow, that's a lot in that pec. Bring it back. And now rotate in the opposite direction. 5, 4, really churning the abdomen, letting the spine and pelvis kind of move through that elevation and deflation, or elevation and ascension. Ascend, descending. There we go. Good. Exhale, take the left leg across, flex the foot. Your face is even going to turn a little bit toward the left so that you can feel more of that fascial stretch and pull. And then bring it back. Last one. Any rotation you want to do, whether it's lateral or medial. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And take it out and over. Flex the foot, push the heel out, 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 and bring it back. Great. And now switch legs. Left leg lowers, readjust your hips by just uncorking them. Maybe need to readjust your elbows. Remember, this is really about getting into your pecs, into your hip, into the iliotibial region. We're massaging out the glute muscles, getting a lot of synovium in and around the pelvis, attaching some of those tightly bound tendons around the anterior of our pelvis where we sit a lot, right? Go ahead and take the right leg all the way over to the left, flex the foot. Even turn the face a little rightward. Go ahead and then bring it back. And now medial rotation. So now we're going in the opposite direction than normally feels comfortable. 3, 2, we want to get a little uncomfortable again, just to unravel the pattern so that everything has ease. Flex the foot. So that means if you tend to sit, when you sit, you cross your right leg, start crossing your left leg until you don't need to cross either leg. Really flex the foot, push the heel away, deep stretch, glute medius, glute minimus maybe, and down the iliotibial and back again. Any rotation you wish, lateral or medial. 5, 4, good morning. 3, 2, 1, really churning the abdomen. So we're getting down there in that lower ileocecal region of the intestines. 3, 2, any kind of clogging or stickiness that's down in the intestines. We're dislodging. Right? Maybe not the best image in the world, but it's real. Go ahead and come on back. Both feet down and onto the floor. Inhale, and as you lower your arms down, we're going to tuck the shoulders under, and then inhale and elevate your hips up. If you have a ponytail in or anything that would cause your chin to tuck too far into your chest, go ahead and move it. Root the big toes, inhale, and elevate the hips a little bit more. Squeeze through your inner thighs. They're not touching, but they're just isometrically hugging, like they're magnets trying to be drawn together, but your bones say no. And now drop just your left hip down. Drop your left hip down, and then inhale and lift your lift it back up. Switch, and right hip down, left hip up, and switch. Left down and up, right. And just switch. It's like you're trying to just pour just some liquid out of the pelvis onto the floor from each side, left to right. Keep going. The upper ribs stay parallel. The knees have to shift, right? Maybe there's a little mild shift in your feet, but it's really more coming from the ankles, if anywhere. 3 more. 3, dipping the hip down to the floor. 2, and 1. Finish right hip down and back up, and then exhale, lower down. Great. Pick both feet up off the floor and roll around in your sacrum. So we're just rolling around the buttocks here. Really feeling the belly expand and contract. Getting the sacrum moving and aligning. Okay, and then switch the rotation. 5, For you have to use your abdominal strength whenever you're doing this motion, right? You have no other choice. And never let anybody, please don't ever let anybody tell you to push your low back into the floor whenever you're doing abdominal work. Please allow your spine to do what it needs to do. Okay, both hands are going to grab a hold of your buttocks, elevate up, you're back on your elbows again. Okay, and then as you inhale and lift, both legs up, chest up, push the elbows down, raise the chest up, hi Anna Jane, and then lower your left leg, keep the right leg up, and just try to look at the toes or close your eyes and just flow. 10, 9, you're thinking about Venus flow right now. Even though you're feeling it in your abdomen, the core is working, it's so working for you right now. You're really thinking about how can I create more capillary action in my legs to get that venous flow from the feet, shins, knees, thighs, back flowing up into my heart, that I have good circulation, positive circulation, a lot of ample energy pumping up into the heart. 3 more. 3, 2, 1, and both feet down. Grab a hold of your buttocks to lower down. That's just a healthy way. How can we always look after ourselves? Flex the feet and look in. The hands are going to come up off the floor a little bit as you look in. Root the arms, lift the chest, and point the toes. So it's like a mild fish pose here, right? Flex and look in. Point, press down through the elbows, chin out of the chest, and flex, look in. You get the flow. Point the toes, chest is up, head is back, and flex the feet, look in. 5 more. I really want you to feel those upper back muscles hugging you into a heart-opened position as you're doing this. 2. Point the toes, lift the chest. We want to feel balanced front to back, not like we're leaning over as we're aging. Exhale and release. You're going to separate your feet just a little bit and then just roll out the ankles. And let's do the same thing with the wrist. 10. If you're hearing some snap, crackle, and pop in your ankle joints, then maybe not so big in your circles, but really get the toes and the fingers moving right now. Switch the direction. Breath in and out through your nose. 2 and 1. Bend one knee and roll over to your side and come over, please, onto all fours. As you move into all fours, start to pump your hips back and then come forward into your modified plank. Now, some of you are going to go from your modified plank into a little bit of a cobra as long as you're safe in your pelvis. What that means is the elbows are bent, the buttocks are braced. Exhale, child's pose, moving from sitting bones. Inhale through modified plank. Look up. Exhale. If you're just going to modified plank, you don't quite trust your low back yet to go into that cobra, then really brace both the buttocks and the abdomen to do that. 5 more. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. If you're wondering, which a lot of us do, like, when do I breathe? When do I know when to inhale versus when to exhale? When you're short, when your body is small, that's your exhalation, right? That's when all of you is deflated. When your body is big, like a cow lift, or in this case, modified plank, then you're inhaling. You want to be expansive. 1 more. Great. And then as you come into table, our classic, raise your right arm up, roll the right wrist out again, and now thread your right arm under and through. Thread your right arm under and through, perch up onto your left fingertips and look up. Breathe and dwell in the belly right now as your left hip is moving backward. 4 more breaths. Some of you might hear a little release occur in your sacroiliac joint, maybe in the middle back somewhere. and lower the left hand down. Inhale and come to table just for a moment. Tuck your left knee inward, extend your right leg back, and then pivot the heel to the floor. Now, when we do this, the left hand has to go out a little. It's just the mechanics of your body to support you. First side angle, 5. As you're in side angle, think about the left pelvic bone moving forward and under you a little bit more. A little more under you, a little bit more forward, so the right side body gets to lengthen. A little more core, grab a hold of the nape of your neck, raise your right leg up. That might mean you need to move your left hand out of the way a bit, and then exhale, squeeze elbow to knee. 5 of these. Inhale apart, back bend. Exhale, squeeze in, crunch. Inhale, pull it back, back bend. Exhale, core. 3, 2, and 1. Lower both hands on the floor, both knees, downward facing dog, please. And now raise your right leg straight up, left hamstring stretch. Bend your right knee and now roll the right leg around. 5, 4, maybe you need to bend your left knee to do this. 3, 2, 1. Switch the direction of your right leg rotations. Right leg now moves outward. 5, 4, elbows are slightly bent, no locking in any joint. 3, 2, and right leg into pigeon. Oh, there you go, Lynn, for all that butt work you did yesterday. Come onto your fingertips, roll the shoulders back, inhale, lengthen. Hold here. This is an active pose. It's not a passive one yet. What is passive, however, is your breath. So allow your breath to be ultimately just passively moving in, intimately and passively, and with a longer exhalation moving out. And now we're going to undulate the exhalation with a lion's face. So here we go. Really get it out of your throat. Stick your tongue out so that it even comes onto your chin and cross your eyes. Inhale back up. Undulate down, lion. Inhale up. 3 more. Go. Really getting that energy out of your body. That massive, powerful, Shakti, feminine energy. Tap in, but not in an aggressive way. In a powerful, I am, so hum in Sanskrit way. Drop into your right hip and sweep your left leg all the way around. Left leg comes all the way around. Grab a hold of your left leg. We did this last week. Turn and twist to the left. Breathe deep in the abdomen, 5 deep breaths. Your left fingertips are tucked underneath you here. They're upright in a temple position as opposed to flat through your heel. You can see the physiology in my body when I drop that left hand down. Every bit of me collapses. Come up onto your fingertips, lengthen, and gently with grace and ease. With your Shakti and your Shiva power, both your masculine and your feminine power and grace. With your yin and your yang. With your light and your dark self. All of it divine and purposeful, intentional, needed, required. One more deep breath. All right, turn your face over your right shoulder. Stay with me here. It's the same thing we did last week. We're going to take the left foot and kind of move it outward a bit. Turn to your right. So you're now turned into where your left foot's on the floor. You're turning in that direction. Deep, long stretch through the right side body. 3. Take a bow. Your elbows are slightly bent here. You're just bowing in. 3, 2. Root down through your right shin. Inhale and elevate your hips. Rearrange your hands for push-ups. My gosh, y'all, Tuesday after class, and I do push-ups. My arms were so sore. And my chest, my pecs, I hope yours were too. Keep going. We're doing this. Think about pumping in the heart. Of course, your right arm is getting super strong right now, but think about really just bringing heart power energy. Your creativity, what you're working on right now in your life, it needs this little bit more of a thrust, a push from the heart. Your passion is driving you up every time through this push up. Two more, two, one, and release and come back down. Back on your elbows. What? Elbows again? Yes. Open your pecs, walk your elbows backward, both legs up. Flex your feet. Hold it here. Lift the chest up like your sternum is going to reach your toes. Really elevate, chin upward. 3. No rounding in the lower back. So think about taking that back edge of your sitting bone onto the floor, not your sacrum and tailbone, right? But that back edge, that bottom edge of your ischial tuberosity, your sitting bone on the floor. 2. Feet are flexed. And now lower your left. You can point the toes and back up and switch. Remember, this is about the capillaries. This is about your cardiovascular, your venous flow, your pump back up to your heart. And a benefit is your core. 8. Breathe. No panting, no breathing out of the mouth, or that is causing your sympathetic nervous system to say, what's up? What's wrong? We want to breathe in and out through your nose. 3, 2, 1, and release. Both feet on the floor, arms down. Inhale, chin out of your chest and bridge. Breathe. Magnets in your inner thighs, bones are keeping them apart. Arms down, chin up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down, bring your knees into your chest, and we're going to rock forward and back. If you're on a hard surface and it's hurting your spine at all, then you're going to roll to the side, the meat along the side of your spine, not on the spine. And then just rock back up on the other side for balance. Not 5 more. See if you can get a little bit more playful with it. Like how springy. So my kid, that's what Vivian used to say whenever her leg would go to sleep on the toilet. My foot's so springy. Think about your body being a little spring and how fun can you be? Can you imagine yourself as a 5-year-old again and your body so fluid, filled with motion and ability? You're capable. One more. Great. And then come over onto all fours. Good morning, y'all. You're on all fours, knees are wide as you need them. Raise your left arm up. Roll out your wrist. And now take and tuck your left arm under and through right now. Take and tuck your left arm under and through. You're in thread the needle right now. Really trying to bring your chin in alignment with your right shoulder. Exploring your right hip moving back. Dwell in the belly. You're waking up every cell in your body. Every nerve is from being in a place of constriction is opening up. Sometimes we constrict the nerves, we constrict the blood, we constrict and hold oxygen out of an area in order to flood that area back with that oxygen, back with that release of hugging. So we can go into a place that is already tight and tense. We can create a little bit more tension and then a big release. And that's what helps us really find those long, deep releases, that freedom of prana, that freedom and ease of flow of energy. Okay, find your way back up, tabletop. Right knee's going to tuck in, left leg's going to extend back here. First, you're moving into your side angle. Just explore here. Where does the left arm want to go? What do you need to do? Certainly, you want to feel like your right pelvic bone is moving forward right now. No locking in your right elbow. Emanate, pull that energy through the fingertips. Now brace the back of your neck. Raise your left leg. Maybe you need to pop your right hand forward and out a little bit. Back bend whenever we're up, and then squeeze and hug. We have to find the balance. Back bend, buttocks and back, hug. Buttocks and back, hug, core. Two more. Inhale, buttocks and back. As that left knee tries to weep down, keep it up. Last one. Good. Take it all down. Don't even let the left leg lower. Raise it up, down dog splits. Broaden through your shoulders, slight bend in your elbows, stretching through the elasticity of your right leg. That's it. Bend your left knee and circulate. Let's go medial with this one. 5, 4, 3. Beautiful job, y'all. 2, 1. Keep the shoulders broad and switch the direction. 5. Moving lateral now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch it up and bring it through pigeon. Your high pigeon, it's active. Perch up onto your fingertips, back bend. Those back toes can stay curled under and kind of tuck your right knee forward a little bit to get you more upright. If that's too much for you today, that's okay. Then just keep the toes uncurled. Just think about your left hip moving back and your right pelvic bone moving forward. Long, deep breaths. What sustains you? Your breath. What centers you? Your breath. What regulates you? Your breath. I am because I'm able to breathe. Let that be your mantra right now. Inhale and extend a little bit like you're going into your back bend. Exhale, undulate with a lion's face. Inhale up. When you back bend, can you feel your psoas stretch? That's actually the point of pigeon. It wasn't a hip releaser originally. It was originally meant to open the psoas of the extended leg. Keep going, last one. Drop into your left hip and sweep your right leg around safely with grace and power, your Shiva and your Shakti. Grab a hold of your left leg, inhale up. You're on your fingertips behind you. Keep bracing so that you don't have to engage your muscles to brace. Just where you create a connection, a bind without any clenching. And now rotate. Every time you exhale, your face and head move further over your right shoulder. Every time you exhale, you feel your right thigh hug a little closer to your torso. We create that compression inside at times so that whenever we inhale and inflate into it, whew, the floodgates open, we open. 2 more breaths. What are you opening to right now? Turn around. We're going to turn around and move your right foot away a little bit. And you're just right now in this twist, yes, but in this left side long body. What are you opening to right now? We'll just do a blanket for all of us for the request of guidance. Guidance to do, I don't know, guidance to fulfill, you fill in the blank, guidance. Bring it into your third eye, bring it into that intuitive place, like, yes, in a humble heart, yes, I need guidance. Root down through your left shin, you're up. Maybe you need to move your right foot out a little bit, perhaps move your arms around, and we're pumping in the heart. Yes, guidance. Third eye witnesses this request for guidance. And the heart is ready to receive the information. It's one thing, we can ask for things all day long, right? But if we're not in a place of receiving, if we're just busy talking, then we can't really hear the answer. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring it back. Okay, cross your ankles, roll out your wrist, roll out your wrist. And then find your way into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We won't be here for very long. So really use this like, oh my gosh, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I want to suck the absolute nectar out of this pose. Be there and just suck the nectar out of this pose. Where in your body do you truly, madly, deeply need this down dog? Is it more blood flow up into your head? Is it more hamstrings? Is it more from the heels to the sitting bones? Is it more just being in the darkness of the shape? And then step your right foot in between both hands. Pivot your left heel down and come up. Wrap your right arm over your left arm. And then just turn your chest a little bit, about 10 degrees to the right. So your right knee and your forearms are about 10 degrees apart. And we're just holding. The elbows aren't dripping and falling into the chest. They're elevated. That lower left arm is at about 90 degrees. Now your hands, you might feel like your thumbs are turning rightward. See if you can turn them more toward your forehead. Sink a little bit deeper through your right knee. Root the big toes down. 3 more breaths. Nape of the neck pulls back, so you're always in alignment. The arches are elevated. Pubic bone is up. Last breath. As you release your arms, lower your right forearm onto your thigh, sink a little bit deeper. And now we don't raise the arm over the head, but we sweep it in front of the face so the shoulder stays happy. 5. Think about pulling your right pelvis forward here. 4. Now stretch your left fingertips out away from your heel without unplugging out of your shoulder. Look up, rotate in the neck, nice massage of the thyroid. 2. Lower your left hand to the floor. Now, some of you are going to grab a hold of your big toe and you're going to go up for a balance pose. Some of you are just going to say, nope, I want this as an opportunity to twist and rotate and feel a little bit more of a deepening here. You decide, do you want to balance? Do you want to balance by raising your right leg up? Or do you want a nice hip stretch? Just in the next 5 breaths doing what you would love. 3. No locking in your joints. 2. 1. And then we release. All of us are going to find child's pose and walk the arms to the left. While you're here, bend your right elbow and grab a hold of the nape of your neck. Releasing your arm, bring it all the way back through to center and come onto your belly. Walk your legs back, bend both knees, hug the shoulder blades together, and then just when you're in your own time, when you are ready, start to pry the legs up and the chest up. First look forward, and then eventually you can look upward. Keep hugging the inner thighs toward each other. Drive up a little bit more and release. Hands underneath you. Traditional child's pose where your hips just move back. We're in this linear motion. You're going to move into rabbit pose. Curl your toes under and climb to the crown of your head. And then see if you can grab a hold of your heels or your ankles, something that you can get a little traction and really round the upper back. No pressure in the crown of your head. I want you to think about hollowing out your belly, and on the exhalation, really pulling the navel back and up into your heart. So you're creating Uddiyana Bandha there. Navel lock, really create that constriction so that whenever we bring blood in there, the belly of creativity, the womb of your creative self is totally accessible to you, to your soul power, to your heart power, to your passion power. No difference. They're all the same. And then come up, stay on your toes. Maybe you keep a hold of your heels as you push into your camel pose. Otherwise, climb up onto your lower back and then go to camel 5. And release. Find your downward facing dog again, please. Downward facing dog. Remember, suck the nectar out of the shape. On your next inhalation, step the left foot forward. Pivot the right heel down. And as you come up, this time the left arm's going to wrap over top, right arm on the bottom. Left arm over top. Pull the pubic bone up, big toes down. And then turn your chest leftward. Pull the nape of the neck back. The thumbs are trying to turn to the left like a key. Turn them upright so that you can really get into the key of your intention, to the keys of your heart. Unlock all of that latent possibility, all of that maybe we've just been feeling a little dense or lethargic around. Or maybe the key to your ability to relax because you've been too busy, too much, using so much of your potential, you're starting to feel burnout. Draw the elbows and fingertips up just a little bit. Access the upper traps. Exhale and release. Lower your left forearm onto your thigh. And then here we go. We're going to sweep. Remember, we don't bloop, plop it. We sweep it. So we want to always make sure we're looking after those joints, y'all. Long from your fingertips to your heel without unplugging at your right shoulder joint. Look up. And dip into your left leg a little bit more so that we're actually moving the lactic acid instead of just building a bunch of it right now. In that shaking place, that's where we really get to feel, explore, get raw. Lower your right hand down. Now you're going to either choose to twist it here or maybe both even, but then potentially maybe even grabbing a hold of your left big toe and rolling onto your right side. Whatever you're doing, I just want you to remember everything has a light and a dark side. So maybe you hear something like, yes, I really just need to do more. Maybe that's not your mantra. Everybody's intention or passages on Instagram or in books, it may not be for you. Maybe it's the other side of that coin. Go ahead and release it. Child's pose. This time in your child's pose, we're going to walk the arms to the right. Bend your left elbow when you're ready and grasp a hold of the nape of your neck. Help ground your head. Your insightful and intuitive awareness will help you answer that question. Inhale and come forward. And as you come all the way forward, lower down and onto your belly.
I'm going to ask you here to really pull the pubic bone up off the floor so that you literally feel your core come off the ground. So you're kind of creating a little bit of a flattened back. That doesn't sound like me at all, does it? But a little bit of a flattened back, pushing down with the tops of the toes. But what you're really feeling is the core is super strong right now. Your chin can be on the ground or your forehead if you need that. And then release it. Uncork the legs, walk the legs back. Grab a hold of your feet, and as you inhale, we're going to pause there for just a moment. When you're ready, so right now just feel the traction and the tension, hang out in those joyous and interesting and challenging spots. And when you're ready, you can pop up. But what I want you to recognize here is sometimes at some point in your life, maybe you've been correcting something that perhaps you were deficient in whenever you were younger. You know, maybe younger meaning last week, but you have reach that goal and perhaps you're on the other side of overcompensating and you're now on the other side from not doing enough to doing too much or doing too much to not doing enough, right? In whatever field that you're in. So just want you to come up and feel that balance right now. See what that is in your mind's eye, if it even is you at all. Keep going up. I have a lot, like, oh my God, like dozens. So pick one if you're in my situation. Pick one, just be there. And then exhale and release. That's it. And then reach it back, child's pose. There's the balance. There's the balance again. You went from back bend and now you're in a bit of a forward bend, but it's mild. Before we go into Ustrasana, into your camel pose again, I'm going to invite you to find your headstand, shoulder stand, forearm balance, whatever it is you're needing. If you're menstruating, you know, we don't go into inversions. You can go into dolphin pose or down dog, but otherwise we don't get our feet over our head whenever we've got a blood flow moving down, okay? So here you go. Find your place. Headstand, shoulder stand, legs up the wall, something for 15 breaths. Go. It's in serious balancing poses like this that you can really tap in and maybe even see more brightly, like, oh yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. We can call ourselves out in the moment that we're maybe judging ourselves. The answer to that is, what if we just don't judge ourselves? If we stopped judging ourselves, then I bet you we would stop judging others. Three more breaths. That's it. Keep going. You got it up there, Amy. If you're in shoulder stand, keep pulling your chin out of your chest a little bit, just so you don't overcompress your neck. Go ahead and then find your way down. Come up into Ustrasana, your camel pose. That's going to be your counter shape, camel pose, either on your heels or hands on your lower back. Go ahead and then find your way down from that and into a balance pose. So we can come up into a squat and move into crow balance, where your buttocks are up, your back is in a cat tuck position, and then your toes elevate up and off the floor. Pulling your heels in toward your buttocks as you're cat tucking, mula bandha engaging. That means genitalia and urethra hugging. You can do any other balance pose, like even just standing and raising one leg into tree pose, something that causes you a little bit more balance, a little bit of drama fatigue, meaning let's fatigue the drama so that we come back to the richness, to the reality, to what is real. Great. And then find your way, whatever position that you've made, find your way into a wide-legged squatting position. Hands onto your waist and just move one leg at a time, side to side. 5, 4. I promised you blood flow, right? I promised you lymphatic movement. 3, synovium movement. I don't even know if I said lymphatics on there. I should have, huh? And now punch space. So when one knee bends, you're punching that side and then switch, switch. Try to speed it up a little bit. That leg that extends is active right now. It engages, the quad engages, the buttock engages. 10, 9. As you're twisting and rotating, really use your core to rotate you. 5, 4, 3, stay upright. Don't list forward. 2, and 1, come back to center. Parallel your feet, even pigeon toe in a little bit. Interlace your fingers behind your body, lift up, chest up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips. Go slow so that you don't overshock the hamstrings. We haven't stretched them both at the same time yet. Exhale, forward bend. Arms over the back of your head. Truly, 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 madly, deeply let your head go. Intimacy. Intimately massaging your body through here. Big toes are rooted, otherwise you're falling out into your ankles. Please don't do that. Root your big toes. We want strong feet. We need a strong foundation for all the reasons, y'all, right? One more deep breath. Lift your face, lift your heart, and release your hands. Find your way onto your back. Woo! Find your way onto your back, right knee into your chest. Bow into it. And lower your head, straighten your right leg up. Feel the length pulling your chin out of your chest. There's a little bit of a hollowing out in your armpits. We want that. And then bow in. And lower your right leg straight out and down, arms over your head. Exhale, bow the leg up, bow in. 5 of these. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. I love our Tuesdays together, y'all. 5, and then bend the right knee and cross it over. Twist and breathe. Let the head fall, your arm fall. Don't be attached to anything. Not the outcome of this twist, not how much your right knee touches the floor or your right shoulder does or does not. Just let it go. Let the tension in your left hand go. Let the tension in your jaw and your forehead go. You're preparing your body for Shavasana, not for the beginning of this practice or for any other action. One more deep breath. And as you come out of it, moving into your figure 4, Lynn's like, you did not give me hip openers, but here's one, here's another one. Come through. Not like pigeon pose was a whole lot of a hip opener, was it? It was pretty active. Flex your feet, relax the shoulders. This is one of those poses where you feel the legs come in and compress the chest, and then you can feel like, oh, wow, I've got some really tight stuff up here in my neck and shoulders. I'm really holding on to a lot or a little, or that's wonky. You move it around, readjust your body. We should be able to feel so malleable inside, so held together by the tendons and ligaments and the muscular tone but so malleable because we're moving in all aspects of our body that whenever there's a bone out or there's something that's just not right, we should be able to move, push, create constriction, release, adjust in your own way. Exhale, and as you lower first your left leg, just let the left knee fall to the side and your right leg moves into half happy baby. And just kind of hang here. Right leg moves out, left knee falls to the left. Big inguinal stretch, big right hamstring stretch. Let the back of your heart continue melting and relaxing. For those of you that do and do and do and overdo, and I'm talking to me too, or it wouldn't even be in my awareness, you're enough. You do enough. And we just have to keep reminding ourselves, I am enough, and this is enough. Especially whenever we feel the tension start to come in. Because not only we know this, it only creates and causes dis-ease, disease. Bring your left knee in, right leg out. Hug your chin to your knee. Exhale, lower the head. And is that worth it? I don't think so. Left leg goes straight, shoulders relax. Bow in. Lower the leg and arms over the head. You're in a long space here, from fingertips to heel. Like the left leg feels super long, left side body rather. Exhale, bow in. Hollow out those armpits, inhale apart. Exhale in. When you're pulling apart, your lower back is coming off the floor. It has to. It has to. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This is the last one. Exhale. The lower back comes on the floor when you're curved, right? When you're in an arched position, and then cross it over. And then left arm moves out to the side. When you're contracted in your abdomen, your lower back moves backward. When your lower back contracts, it moves anterior, it moves forward. In order to support the core, the center of our body, we have to have that balance of the back strong and elevated, and then the core strong. And that's when the low back comes down and the abdomen elevates. Let go a little bit more in your face and the clenching of your right fingers. Doesn't matter what happens here. If you just kind of fall out of the pose altogether, who cares? What does that feel like? Just give yourself permission to just fall into it. And then roll out of it, and you're going into figure four. Untuck your hips. So we've got to line ourselves up, right? And then come in and under, needle your left arm through. Loop the shoulders down and back, chin out of your chest, and breathe. As you might feel that nice compression that the legs bring to the torso, the shoulders, and the head. Notice anything you might need to adjust. And then find your relaxation again. Remember, the more you breathe, the more you're going to feel. The less you breathe, the less you'll feel. All aspects of life, right? Right foot down on the floor, knee out to the side. And then the left knee moves down and the foot moves back. Sometimes in our doing, we don't want to feel. We don't want the sensation of stop, do the right thing, right? We just want to do and get through. So what happens then is we're not breathing efficiently. We're only breathing to live. So much is lost when we breathe that way. Our consciousness is lost. Our ability to regulate and let the tiger not be at the door.
is lost. So our job is to remember to breathe fully and to feel completely. As you release out of this, just find your way and into your Shavasana. Maybe you have something else in there that needs adjusting, like maybe a fish pose. We usually do fish during this practice at the end now, but maybe you just want to kind of stretch the arms out or just readjust in any way that you can. Close your eyes and let them fall deep into the back of your head. Now your body knows how to breathe efficiently. You don't have to focus on it. Let everything go. You are enough. You do enough. You're doing a great job. Let the eyes go back a little bit further. No rapid eye movement right now. Just let them hang back. Let your legs, your knees, your thighs go. Relax. Your buttocks and your belly, your back go. Let them relax. Shoulders and your chest, your ribs, your face, your fingers and ears, your forehead, your scalp. Let them relax. Breathe in and hold your breath. Exhale everything. Bend your left knee and roll, fold over to your right. Let your forehead touch the floor. And as you peel yourself up into your seat, just let the mantra pull you up. I am enough. What I do is enough. I'm doing a good job. Just blanket. It's a blanket for everything. Namaste.